Alhamdulillah, many brothers want to get into the remote sales space, and obviously, one of the entries to the remote sales space, making money from their phones and laptops is appointment setting, right? You become an appointment setter, then you can become a closer, start your own agency, etc., move into different roles, but you got to get something under your belt, right, to get into those more senior roles. My name is Jamil, Alhamdulillah, and I've done more than $26,000, roughly for my agency in April. Where today is the 3rd of May. You can see, oops, that's a picture from Riyadh. But today is the 3rd of May, Alhamdulillah. And I've also created $15,000 more than that, I believe, approximately around that for other agencies. In terms of, I made that for them online last month in April, and just hopped off a call with Aqib just a couple of hours ago. It was on a 38-minute call. He's one of my top students. I coached him in February, and he told me he's done roughly around, the 1.6, 1.7K mark in cash collected, not closed, cash collected. So those earnings which he's taken into his accounts, around 1.6K just in the last week. So he was kicked out of his job in January, right, in Luton. So look, anyway, back to the point, I've told you the achievements and stuff. Let's talk about how you can get your foot in the door into the remote sales space, alhamdulillah, by becoming a remote appointment setter, because that is an easy way. I myself, I've worked in several different agencies in remote sales now. I've got a remote sales history under my belt of, around 1.5 to 2 years. But alhamdulillah, obviously you've seen the figures I'm bringing in. And if you talk to anybody else in the high ticket sales space, they'll tell you, the first step usually is to become an appointment setter, to start making money from your phone, to quit the 9 to 5, to quit the matrix. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. I'm going to tell you, brothers. So how'd you become an appointment setter? Obviously, you probably, if you're on this video, then you understand basically the basic of what appointment setting is. An appointment setter, you set meetings for coaches or consultants, whether that be inbound or outbound. So whether that be using a list of their warm leads or a Skool community, etc., or outbound, meaning you go and find them clients, get them onto meetings. For example, right, last month I set a meeting for Javen Zhang. On that meeting, it was outbound. So I got somebody from my contacts, put them on it, meeting with Javen Zhang. Javen Zhang collected $5,000, right? By the way, I'm building Zhang University sales team. So that's an example. I'm building their setter team. But anyway, back to the point. How do you find a setting client on Skool.com? Let's talk about that. So how do you find a coach or an agency that you can work with, that you can get into a setting role? You can get a setting role with on Skool.com. So because that's the first step of becoming an appointment setter, right? You need to find a coach or agency. Well, usually this is the way that you find a coach or agency that accepts you, wants to work with you, is going to pay you percentage for the amount of closed meetings that you bring them, right? The amount of successful meetings which end up in a sale. They'll cut your percentage of it. But before you bring the meetings and find the clients, etc., as an appointment setter, whether that be inbound or outbound, again, before all this kind of stuff, you need to talk to them, you need to get on meetings with them, you need to agree a percentage with them, and basically you need to land a role as, their right-hand man in terms of being their appointment setter. Because let's face it, most coaches and consultants and, different business owners, they don't have time to get meetings themselves. That's why they would hire an appointment setter, especially if they have a big following. It becomes even more sort of at scale. For example, I'm building a setter team right now for Javen Zhang, and he has 2,000 people in his Skool community, right? So setters on our team, they go and talk to those people because Javen Zhang has so much to do. He's got so much clients. That's just an example, right? Today I was on a call with another huge Muslim Skool community owner with around 1.6K, 1.5K people, 1.4K around there in his community, and we need to get 2 setters for him. But that's aside from the point. Anyway, look, what I'm trying to tell you right now is, how do you find a coach or agency like that, and then get into an agreement with them, because that's a key crucial part to start setting. So number one, you get onto Skool.com, right? Oh, by the way, this is a slide which is out of my free training, which is actually available on my Skool community right now. So this free training is available on my Skool community right now. We usually remove free trainings, upload them. Right now, this one's available, and it's available very likely for a decently limited time. So, jump in. Also, there are a bunch of Muslim appointment setters in this community, a lot of brothers networking, alhamdulillah. So please jump into this community right now, link in the bio. You lose nothing, and you build networks. Potentially, you see brothers winning in the space, remote appointment setting, making money remotely. Anyway, back to the point. How do you find a setting client on Skool.com, a coach or agency which you can work for, which you can set meetings for, right? Number one, you get onto Skool.com. By the way, step back. Why Skool.com? Skool.com is a community-based platform with, communities with, each community can have like hundreds and thousands of people, etc. And they can chat with each other and you can flow between different communities. Basically, it's a place where a lot of business happens. Does that make sense? So it's a great place for you to meet coaches and consultants and get into agreements with them to become an appointment setter for them. Does that make sense? Number one, get onto Skool.com. Number two, obviously, right now we're talking about how to find Muslim business owners. This can be applied to finding non-Muslim business owners. You join as many Muslim communities as possible, just, here, right? You introduce yourself in all those communities. Oh, by the way, once you get on Skool.com, you want to fix up your bio. This is an example of, a basic bio for an appointment setter, something like this. You can just say, I'm working to expand, business reach of coach and agency, something like that. It doesn't have to be something big. Plug it into ChatGPT. I mean, it's just 2 sentences, right? But okay, we're fast tracking this, right? Get on Skool.com, join as many Muslim communities as possible, or even other communities, non-Muslim communities. Introduce yourself in all of them. Make a valuable post every day. Spend 5 minutes minimum liking and commenting in different communities daily to make yourself known, because what you're trying to do by this is expose yourself and expose your reach to coaches and agencies, so they see you in communities, they see you interacting, etc. And then after that, basically you can use the member section of the communities and basically drill down on the members and search basically through the members for coaches and agencies. So you can click on their profiles, see their links, etc. And if they're a coach or an agency, then you can try to basically build a relationship with them, an organic relationship, by potentially commenting on a post that they posted, or DMing them, and not trying to sell them anything, but building a relationship and then potentially getting them onto a networking call where you can talk to them and understand their business. And if you think you'd be a good fit as an appointment setter, you can invite them to actually take you on as an appointment setter. So this is basically how you can find a coach or an agency kind of to work with on Skool. So this again, for more info on this, for more info on how to get on Skool, how to become an appointment setter, how to make money appointment setting from your phone, from your laptop, alhamdulillah, we got our free training right now out on the Skool community. We post resources here. This is a lot of Muslim appointment setters in it. Come in, network with us, alhamdulillah, in the Skool community. Link down below. And we remove the free training pretty frequently. We run events when we remove it. So right now this is available. And if you're not too late, you can come jump in and get this. And also, of course, the network is there. Brothers making money from there, from online, alhamdulillah.